What up, everybody? We're back with some Too Long Didn't Play. I got Mo Mason here once
Howdy.
again. We're gonna be talking about a new game today. This is gonna be a long process to get through this game because we're talking about Red Dead Redemption, which is
Ew.
how long?
Um, 8 chapters. That's including epilogue.
8 chapters with epilogue.
It's like 60 hours just story missions, and then plus everything else you can do in the game. Beautiful game.
Yep. So we're doing this video. We're doing it in 4 parts. We're doing it in 4 parts, 2 chapters each. So today we're starting off with chapter 1 and 2, which is like pretty much the shortest chapter in the game and the longest chapter in the game. Maybe besides 6 might be the longest.
I don't think it's the
Anyways,
longest. I think it just has most cutscenes. Kind of
yeah.
thing.
All these videos should be about the same length.
Yeah.
But it'll take us a minute to get through all these, so bear with us through all these videos, but stay tuned. Because if there's a chapter you like, we'll be covering it. Oh, show.
Oh shizzle.
So, is there anything we should get started with before we start discussing the game itself?
It's a fucking beautiful game. It's
Beautiful game.
die hard for me. I've played it like 5 times. Nah, like 4 times now. I can't stop playing it. It's like a hard crack to me. So
Yeah, I've played chapter 1 and half of chapter 2 twice because my game accidentally didn't save and I had to do the whole thing. It was a lot, but
you played the best chapter, so in my opinion.
yeah, pretty much. But I do agree that this game's really good, and maybe we should talk about why I even played this game in the first place, our little deal we had. So,
I
me
still
and
haven't even held up my end of
yeah,
the deal.
I played this game like I started it. I don't even remember it. I played this game a while ago. We've been simmering on it, but me and Mason here made a deal that he would play my favorite story game, Cyberpunk, and I would play his favorite story game, or second favorite, I don't know, Red Dead 2.
Indeed.
Yep. So
I'm
I
still
played
getting
this.
around
He
to
still hasn't beaten Cyberpunk. Game's like 2 times shorter.
it.
God knows why.
My defense.
That video will be coming
I
out
didn't-
after Red Dead as well.
Oh yeah. I didn't get Cyberpunk until like half a year after you got
That's true.
Red Dead Redemption. And I just started slacking. But
Yep.
I'll get around to it.
But we're gonna make a Cyberpunk video. We're gonna make a Red Dead 1 video when I get around to it.
better.
Stay tuned. We got a whole roster lined up. You better get strapped in.
I can't decide which is better, the first or the second one. Like,
Well, I'll decide for you when I play it.
um,
Anyways, let's discuss some important characters that our dear viewers are gonna need to know, that they're not confused the whole time.
Yep.
So obviously Arthur, main character, badass cowboy.
Mr. Vanderlyn.
Yep, Dutch Vanderlyn.
Dutch.
Named my cat after him. He's awesome. He's
Uh,
the leader of the old gang, you know.
yeah. Micah. He is what's someone
He's disliked
called
by the
Hunter
gang.
here. Group asshole.
Yeah, he's the group asshole.
Definitely group asshole.
He's a little mischievous. He's a little ugly. He resembles
His,
never mind.
Not good. His intro is super badass. Like, comes through the snow. You know, we'll get
Yep,
to that.
we'll get to it.
Sadie, she's important because she's like introduced in
Mm-hmm.
this chapter. Sadie Adler, bad as hell.
Yeah, I think we'll get the rest on the way.
Yeah.
So, you can open it up. Opening cutscene. You start up the game.
It hits you with Rockstar Presents per usual. Then bam, Red Dead Redemption 2. It's all big ass letters. Then the camera's kind of looking up. It's the gang on the trail in some very snowy mountains. After
Before that,
it
has a little speech. It's like the age of cowboys is over. Blah,
Oh, yeah,
blah, blah,
right.
blah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, they're the whole gang, multiple wagons. They're going on this trail, and I'm pretty sure it's Reverend that walks up to the very front with Pretty sure it's Dutch and Hosea. And he's like, yeah, this gang member's dying. I can't remember his name. He literally has 2 seconds of screen time, and it's him dead. So
Mm.
he's he's an unseen character besides those 2 seconds.
There's game
And
files of him though.
there is game files of him, which I wish they would have used more. But there, Arthur pulls up, and it's his intro, and he's holding his hat, all badass, and he comes through the snow, and pretty sure his name was Davy, right?
Oh yeah, Davy.
Or is that the other
Davy,
one?
yep.
No, yeah, it was Davy. Yeah,
It
he
was
was
Davy.
the Calendar brothers, right? Right.
Uh-huh.
Coming back to me. It's
Mhm.
coming back to me. And they end up traveling through the snow. They're in the slums, and then it hits you with like the bam, like the old like 1800s photo, kind of like
Mhm.
I don't even know how to call it. And then it cuts to them at the house, right? It's like, well,
Yeah,
obviously it's just
they're in a little cabin
older
thing.
in
And the reason they're in this snow area, it's like springtime, it's not winter. They were
mhm,
escaping some foe. Wait, was it O'Driscoll's or Pinkertons?
just Pinkertons.
It was Pinkertons, so they're
Law.
like the FBI, the lawmen.
After a
So
heist gone wrong, it was a ferry
in
boat job.
Blackwater.
Oh yeah, supposed to be a
But
big score. Whatever happened
mhm.
wrong, whatever went wrong.
So you run into the mountains, a one-off snowstorm hits in the middle of spring. Gang gets trapped in because they weren't expecting it, obviously, because it's the middle of spring.
Yep.
So that's why it's all snowy.
Well, they ended up getting into this cabin. You know, Hosea kicks the door open, holding his big iron. Right. They get everyone inside. They realize Davy is fully dead. He's kicked the bucket. They put some like fucking coins or like pickles on his eye. I don't even know what the hell
Like
it is.
Nacho Libre, it's awesome.
Yeah. And then
Dutch
he has
Dutch
a
gives his
speech.
little speech and he's like,
Now,
if it were
if I
me
could
that would have died there,
throw
I would
myself
have done so.
in the
And
ground,
he gives his whole speech.
in their
And
stead,
the whole time I played the game, I was thinking
do
how
it.
he looks like,
gladly.
who did I say he looks like? The guy from Monster House? Is that what I said?
Oh
Fat kid?
yeah, the guy that
Oh,
like runs up and
is it the
eats the shit out of
arcade
the
guy
dudes.
or the fat kid?
I don't know. I think it's the arcade guy because it's
There'll be a picture of it on the
looks like
screen.
Rally.
For some reason, I couldn't get over the fact that he looked like the guy from Monster House,
I mean, he
which
does
I
though.
got over very, very fast. But he gives a speech and he's trying to rally the gang to have some more spirit. And then essentially, Dutch and Arthur go out into the snow on their horses.
To look
And they're,
for John and Micah.
yeah, they're looking for
Eventually,
John Marston, may sound familiar, and Micah Bell, which was discussed prior.
one of the
And they're
whole
looking for the two because they went out in the night. They find Micah. He pulls up with like a lantern in his hand. He looks a little bit menacing.
pretty badass though.
And then they kind of talk about Blackwater. Dutch doesn't want to talk about it because he killed some girl there or something. It was some bad business.
Some very
And
bad.
then Micah, I think it's Micah. He says how he saw a little O'Driscoll. He didn't know it was O'Driscoll. He said he saw a little function on a little cabin down somewhere on the mountain. So they go to investigate. Go find some food maybe. So they pull up to this cabin place, and Micah and Arthur are behind these like things with their guns out, just hoping nothing goes wrong. And Dutch is at the door, and he's like,
Trying
just
to
asking for
convince
food
them to
and
come out,
shit.
right? Yeah. No, he was just trying to
Mhm.
talk to them. And then Micah, he's sitting behind this wagon. And there's like a giant little like tarp over this wagon, and he looks into it, and there's a dead guy, right? And
He yells over at Arthur. It's like, Arthur, there's a body in here.
yeah, and then that's
Arthur's
when
like, oh brother.
and then they pull their guns out, and the guys come out talking to Dutch. They're all drunk from this absolute function that they were having, and I don't remember if they draw their guns on Dutch or if we just start shooting them. I don't really
You
know.
can
I'm
do it
pretty
either
sure.
way.
I'm pretty
Depends how
it's
long
like
you wait.
it's just kind of like a not a quick time
Yeah.
event. That's
You
I
can
don't
pull
know.
your guns on them first. They can pull their guns on you first.
Yeah.
Just depends how long you wait.
Anyway, after you murk all the O'Driscolls, you go in the cabin, and Micah's being a complete asshole, chasing this girl around with What is
You
it?
find this girl in a cellar. She's like in her pajamas. She's getting tortured by the O'Driscolls that were residing in there. And he's like running around a table playing with her, being a dick. And then one of them knocks over a lantern and the whole house burns down.
And that is
And
Sadie Adler introduced. Her husband
mhm,
is the one that's dead. I mean, it's kind of
he
context
was the
clues.
wagon man.
He's the wagon man. And their cute, lovely home together gets burnt the fuck down. And then well, I guess not we, but Dutch takes her in and raises her like everyone else in the gang.
Yep, she joins the gang pretty much because she has nowhere else to be, and she trusts the gang a little bit, but she also thinks they're bad people.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And then after that, you go with Javier, who's a Mexican badass guy. You don't. He's like, yeah, he's Mexican, but you go with him and you go up this big old mountain. You find John Marston, and he got attacked by some wolves. And then,
how he got the scars on his face, little scar
yep, he's
face.
got some big old scars on his face
He's
from some
looking
wolves.
looking really rough.
And then you run down the mountain with John, and you shoot some more wolves. And then you go back to your camp, which is well, I can't think of the camp name.
Coulter, it's an old mining camp.
Coulter. Coulter. Yep. It's badass.
Poor John. That one was explained way too quick. But I mean, there wasn't much to get into.
Yep. You saved
That's
John.
pretty much it. And
Abigail was saying like, "Oh, John ran off and we haven't seen him in days, and Jack misses him, and I need my daddy." Then you go save him.
then uh
You
pretty
choose between two
sure
missions.
yeah, it's a either or. Should we do
Mhm.
the hunting with Charles or
I
the
normally do the hunting with Charles first,
That's what
so
I do too.
yeah, you got it.
Charles, one of the most goated characters in the second game. He has a
It's
really
half black,
cool
half red.
so he gets a lot of shit from some strangers, but um he has a really cool I don't know what I'd call it, but like towards the end of the game, he's a really big part of the game.
Yeah, he's a big
But
guy.
he gets his work done. The second there's an issue, he handles it then and there. No procrastinating. So we need food, obviously, for old Fat Man Pearson. He's like the camp cook. So he's like, oh, we need more food. He gets you some salted offal, whatever it's called,
Mhm.
for the
It's
road.
like some jar shit that you eat, you know.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Mhm.
But you go off and he teaches you how to use a bow because he's a, he was a
He's a Native American black
Native
man.
American Indian, and he you each hunt a deer, and it's this is like also a tutorial of the game, so it's like showing you how to use the bow, and all that shit. So then you get all the all the shit, and
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure it's this mission where you meet Kieran, right? Because that's how you
I
find the plans
I
for the
don't
second one.
know.
I'm pretty sure it's this one.
Yeah,
You see some
maybe.
kind of O'Driscoll. I'm pretty sure. I'm positive. And you go and you lasso him. You don't kill him. You can't kill him. You lasso him. You throw him on the back of your horse, and you bring him
You
back.
run 1,000 miles back to camp.
Yeah, you
So
come all the way
long.
back. It's a pain in the ass. And they're searching him. Whatever. I'm
Yep.
pretty
And
sure
now
this
you
is
got an
one.
O'Driscoll buddy.
Yeah, because now you have now you get like some scroll from like the
Yeah.
1600s pretty much, and it's
Uh-huh.
like it's like a robbery plan to rob a
It's like
train.
when you beat those rounds in Plants vs Zombies and you get the zombie note. It's like that. And it
Yeah.
basically said, "There's some more O'Driscolls up in this camp. Come pull up."
Hmm.
Colm's there. Column. So they pull up on this camp, whole gang. It's pretty badass. It's like the first time the whole gang's really together and you get to play. And you pull up on this big ass O'Driscoll camp, and you just you're up there scoping it out. Dutch is like, "Oh, that's Colm O'Driscoll. That man killed my brother, or I killed his brother, or some shit. I killed his brother." And
Pretty sure Colm killed Dutch's love of his life. I'm pretty sure. What was her
yeah,
name? Like
yeah,
I don't remember her name, but
I don't know her name.
she
But
gets
they scout
slimed
it
out.
out. They start shooting it up. Dutch decides to not go after Colm because there's a better time somewhere else or something. But they
It's
go
true.
shoot up the camp. You shoot a bunch of O'Driscolls, you find some dynamite in a crate and some plans, and you find out that the reason these O'Driscolls are up here in the mountains with you is because they're about to heist a train with some big explosives. So
Which
the
was
gang's
the
like,
scroll.
well, right
Right.
place, right time. Let's steal these explosives and blow up this train ourselves and get us some money.
Oh, one thing I should mention. All the money that they got from that ferry boat heist is buried somewhere in Blackwater, and they can't go back because it's just
Gang's broke.
flooded. Yeah, they're broke as hell. So they're over here eating salted offal, whatever the fuck's called. They're broke as hell.
Hmm
So they kind of need this train. Like this is like a fucking
This is a big
miracle.
score. Hmm
Big score. I'm pretty sure it was like millions in today's money from the ferry boat.
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
Like
it was lots.
lots of fucking money.
Hmm
Half of it's in gold too. So
Yeah.
which you see in the end of the game. Yeah, cool.
Uh-huh.
But after that, I'm pretty sure it's who the hell is Leviticus Cornwall, which is the
Oh yeah.
man.
Which, by the way, somehow just by chance, so I'm still in school. This guy dropped out. I'm still in school,
All right,
right?
bro.
But
Drop out to an online.
within days, maybe a day after playing this mission, in my U.S. history class, we start learning about Cornelius, like Lawrence or something. I don't even know. It sounds exactly like Leviticus Cornwall.
At the beginning of this year,
So
bro, before I left.
no, yeah, I know, but so he's based on a real guy. He's a big oil tycoon type guy, but in the game, he represents every big business. He owns trains, oil, explosions, everything. Like he's the big business guy.
Who the hell is Leviticus Cornwall? You might be asking. Connor just explained it. But
He owns the big train that they're about to rob.
yep. So you guys go over. You pretty much. I'm pretty sure you just pack up camp. To begin with, like they're all packing up camp. All the
Uh-huh.
ladies.
Let me
And
pause for a second. I'm so sorry. My headset just broke.
so you get to this like ridge kind of thing. It's like overlooking
It's
the
like a little
train track.
cliffside type thing.
Yeah. And Bill, old fat man Bill,
Fat gay
Malden.
man with a receding hairline. He's awesome.
Yep. He's a good character. He plays a big part in the first game. But he's screaming at you all to help with this spool for the dynamite. And you're putting the wire out and he's rigging the dynamite, the tracks. Right as you get done connecting the wire, train starts coming. So you start, running back. Bill, he does like the little cartoon dynamite thing, pushes it
He
down, and
pushes the
it
thing in.
doesn't blow up. Bill's he fucked up,
Dumbass
and
Bill.
he gets made fun of it literally the whole game. It's hilarious.
Nobody drops it. It's not even just by one character. Like nobody drops it.
Like even Uncle,
Yeah,
fucking
he does.
Uncle.
Any of your boys can handle explosives?
Sure, anyone but him.
So,
Think you're real funny, don't you?
tell me about
That is the last time I'll mention it, I swear.
And one or two sticks should do. I'll deal with the other stills.
As you were.
Private Williams.
Not get a break.
Uncle's one of the best characters.
But the explosion fails. They have to get on their horses, run after the train. They go over some tunnel thing and it's like some movie scene. They jump on the top of the train.
James Bond shit.
Someone falls off. I don't remember
Pretty
who.
sure it's Javier that falls off because I'm pretty sure you're
Yeah,
with
Javier or
Lightning.
something.
Yeah.
But anyways, you jump on the top of the train from the horses. Pretty cool. You get
Javier
on it.
off.
You got to fight off some guys to get to the front of the train.
Some
Then you get up there, pull the e-brake, slam that thing into park.
Oh yeah.
And then once it's down there, all the gang pulls up. They're surrounding the train, and there's some businessmen in there, and they're like, "Get out of here before we blow you up!"
This is like the valuables car, so
Yeah,
there's no way
there's some
anyone
goodies in there.
it's got like armored windows.
And the guys are like, "We'll never. You'll have to kill us." And then we blow up the side of the tank. The tank. What the hell? The train car. And they come running out. On my first playthrough, I lassoed them up and put them back in the train and just sent them off.
Like a good
It was
man.
pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
I
Uh-huh.
slaughtered them. You have the choice to like let
Yeah,
them
you can
be.
kill them.
I killed every single one. It was like the scene out of Walking Dead with Negan. He's just walking with the baseball bat. It was pretty much me,
Yep.
my big iron.
But in the
Anyway,
train car, you find some bonds, and they're worth a pretty penny. And Hosea's like, "Ooh, Arthur, my boy, these are worth some money if we go sell these."
this is just not how hobby sounds like.
Yeah, it is.
Ops
Don't
from
even.
regular show. More of like fucking
Yeah, that's what he sounds like, though.
It's not Reverend. Who's the other dude? Top
Trelawney.
Hat. Kalani, yeah. Anyway, well, then you all come
Right off
back
into the sunset, and it's so
right off in the
happy.
sunset, and then
You
this is
escape the
the
snow, and there's green everywhere, and
I
broke the goddamn
yeah.
wheel.
Arthur breaks the goddamn wheel. He's
and you gotta fix the
Hosea,
goddamn wheel.
and then there's some. This is some cool foreshadowing. There's like
Oh,
these Indians on the ridge, and they're like looking over, and Arthur's asking
It's so
Charles like,
awesome
"You gonna
music. It's
kill
like,
us?" Dude, it's some badass shit. And then
and
you
they're
run
important later.
into they're important later, like way later. But
But that's chapter
then,
1. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Not yet. Not yet.
well,
Not
you
yet.
pull up to camp and all that. It's pretty
You
much
find
chapter.
Horseshoe Overlook, and you set up camp a little bit. And Dutch is like, "This is paradise, my boy."
And then you like walk up to like the ridge, and then it's the sunset once again, and it's
Uh-huh.
like the three main men. It's Hosea,
Yep.
Dutch, and Arthur. I think Charles maybe. I can't really remember. But you walk.
Maybe.
They're
Yeah.
walking up. Camera pans up, and then it's bam, chapter 2, Horseshoe. It's fucking beautiful, and it really symbolizes the happy moments of the
hmm
gang before shit hits the fan.
But
Okay.
that's chapter 1. That's chapter
Yeah.
1
And then
called Coulter.
Coulter.
And that was chapter 2, and you can take
You
it.
have like,
Just keep it brief.
oh yeah, you have like 3 different missions you can do, but we're gonna go in like the chronological order, I guess you could say. It's I think it's called like Polite Society, something like that.
Polite,
Anyway,
polite society, Valentine style.
ooh yeah, that's what it's called. So, um, you go into the nearest town. It's like a little farmhand town. It's pretty cool.
Valentine.
Valentine. It's one of the best towns in my opinion. Very
Yep.
muddy, and
Mud and wood.
yeah, you go up to Uncle, which is Arthur's favorite parasite, or is it second favorite parasite? Maybe third. I don't really remember. But
There's a lot.
one of the favorite parasites, and he's one of my favorite characters. He's an old uncle, and
He's an old lumbago-ridden
yep,
alcoholic man.
there you go. But
Lumbago.
you and Unc you take all the females, all the
All
ladies
the ladies in a
straight
wagon.
to Valentine. You go into the store, you like buy some shit. Karen and Beth, I'm pretty sure, and Tilly. They all go and
Tilly, yeah.
they're looking for work, just as Arthur and Unc is. Except
Mhm.
Uncle's sleeping and Arthur's chilling, posted, or farming. And then Karen comes up to you while you and Uncle are sitting down, and she's like, "Oh, Tilly, something happened." And then you
Tilly
like,
getting abused by a black man.
yeah. And then is where you meet Foreman, something Foreman. I can't really remember
Yeah,
his
I have
first name.
no idea.
But you meet him in an alleyway, and he is one
He's
of the
backhanding Tilly pretty much.
yeah.
He's yelling at her.
He's shaking her up. He's an old gang member that she used to ride. Anyway, Arthur being like 6 foot, 200 pounds, fucking huge for that time.
Mhm.
He walks up and he's like,
Get
pressing
the
this
hell out of
dude.
here now.
Yeah. And you pull a gun on him and he's like, "Oh, I'll be back for you, Tilly Jackson." He walks off
Mhm.
the distance. And I remember my first playthrough, I followed him thinking I could beat him up and I couldn't, so I was just following a dude like just completely walking away. It's pretty funny.
Dang.
Anyway, then you bring Tilly back, and then Karen, I'm pretty sure I don't remember what order is in, but Karen, you go to find Karen too, cause she's
You gotta locate all the females. They're all around.
yeah,
in
they're all
different
over the place.
predicaments.
Karen is in this room doing some business with this
She's
man with
getting
his pants
freaky
off
with some weird ass guy, and
for
you gotta
some
beat
money.
his ass.
Anyway, he's threatening her, so you walk in there and you just start throwing haymakers. That's pretty much. And then there's the man from Blackwater. Do you want to take that one, or should I?
You can do it. Just
Yeah.
yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So some dude runs up. His name's Jimmy Brooks, and this is where it introduced the honor level. So he runs up. He's like, "Oh, you were in Blackwater. I remember you." I was like, "Nah, it was
May I
a bunch
interject?
of fellas." Then he runs away, and you have to get on some dude, and or maybe your horse. I don't remember. You run off and chase him, and you chase him to this cliff, and he falls off. And in the first game, almost falls. In the first game, there's the strange man, and we'll get to it's more of an Easter egg kind of thing. But Jimmy Brooks has a part to play.
It's a whole
in the
thing.
second
Yeah.
game. It's a whole thing. It's nothing main story, but it's just something interesting. The honor level. But you go up to him and you confront him and you're like, "Oh, yeah, you didn't see me in Blackwater." And he'll be like, "No, no, I didn't know. I promise I won't say nothing." And you can either stomp on his hands and he falls to his doom and dies, or you can help him back up and he gives you a pen, and that's like his way of saying thank you. It's like a super fancy
A whole
thing. It was like
pen.
it was a steel pen. It was fancy as fuck.
Mhm.
And anyway, you let him go, and then
If
it's
you
the
choose
next
so.
mission. If you choose so.
Yep. And then the
My
next thing. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying my first run was low honor, but the
Mine was high.
cannon is high honor. He's a good man.
The canon is low honor and then high honor. That's why it's called Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, because you redeem yourself. Anyway.
But anyways, the next mission, you're back at camp. You go. Maybe you don't even ever go back to camp. I don't know. But you're going to some bar to meet up with Javier, and he's with some fine ladies. One of them's name is Anastasia. She's got some
Yeah,
quadruple D's. I'll tell you
rat.
what.
Pretty
Anyways,
sure Charles
you're
and Bill was there too, right? Yeah.
yeah probably, but yeah.
It was a boys' night out. It was a boys' night out.
Uh huh. And you get in an altercation at the bar, and you got to fight this big fat guy named Tommy out in the street.
Mhm.
And y'all are just throwing hands at each other, and you end up beating his ass, and he has like a scar, and you can go like all the townspeople will be like, "Dang, you beat up Tommy!"
You go back to
And
him.
then
He has like brain damage. I'm pretty sure. Like he's all
yeah, you like give him Down syndrome scars and stuff. It's badass.
insane.
And then after that, you kind of just go around, just doing side missions to get the game set up a little bit more. So you go with Hosea, and you get yourself a horse and stuff like that. At some point you go to some like I don't even know what like a train station type thing, and you got to go find Reverend Swanson. And he's like a
Super drunk. He's a
what
drug
is it?
addict.
Just a reverend,
Reverend
I
Swanson.
guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's some like Christian guy. He's like the church man, but he's also a drunk and a sinner. So you got to
Very big
save him
drug
off
addict.
some railroad tracks after gambling and shit, and you got to bring him back to camp.
Yep.
And then after that, or before that, depending on how you play, you meet Strauss, and he's a money lender type shark man.
Yeah.
So he's a crook. He's an evil man, and he lends money to people who can't ever pay him back. And then you have to go eat their asses when
Do
they
all the
can't pay
dirty
him
work.
back.
You go to
One
some
of them is a Mr. and Mrs. Downs.
They have some pretty
And
good horses. Should we save the outcome of this for like when he actually?
yeah, but
Yeah.
you without a choice, which it was weird to me because I was trying to play a high honor, but you go up to Mr. Downs and you beat his ass to death, and you have no choice to
Sick.
not. I wouldn't have done it, but you have to, and he coughs blood in your mouth, and it's pretty sad. You beat his ass. His wife is left alone, and his kid. So
Impressive.
you start to see after that like, Strauss is kind of a crook.
He's a German man. Anyway, then it's was it paying a social call? I think this is one
Yep.
of my favorite missions. So it starts off with you going up to Dutch and Bill, and this is where Bill's gay side kind of shows. So you got Kieran, the O'Driscoll. He's tied to a tree, and Bill is very excited to geld his balls off
His
But,
pants
like,
are down.
his
Like
his
he's
pants are
ready.
down. He is ready. He's snipping.
Not Bill's pants.
Here. Not Bill's. I mean, maybe at some point.
He might as well have, but
Yeah, right.
he had a thing for Kieran.
He's trying to cut his balls off, and then they're trying to get like this hideout out of him, and he's like, "Oh, I'll tell you." He finally tells you. You go to the hideout, slime a bunch of
O'Driscoll
O'Driscolls.
hideout. Yeah.
O'Driscoll hideout. You slime them out, take all the money and all this shit. There's like a shit ton of money in the.
Kieran saved your life, and Arthur's like, maybe he's not that bad, but I still hate him.
Yeah, just because he's an O'Driscoll, it's a little racist, honestly. But you also get a
Yeah,
double
they
barrel
deserve it.
shotgun out of it, so it's pretty cool. Then
Mhm.
it's what was it, Quiet Time? I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this one's super fun. You wanna take this one or should I take it?
Yeah, I got it. So, wait. Okay, yeah, sorry. So, Lenny Summers, a black man, he comes in on a horse and he's like, Micah's been captured, Arthur. You gotta do something about it. And Dutch is like, Arthur, will you go take Lenny and go save Micah? And
Hold on, one
Arthur's like,
thing.
yeah.
Arthur does
What?
not like Micah at all, so he like
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
even want to do this. But
No,
he's
yeah, he does not want to save Micah. So he takes Lenny. He's like, yeah, Lenny, let's go save Micah. And then they're on the way to Valentine, and Micah's in Strawberry. So Lenny's like, where the hell are we going, Arthur? He's like, we're going to go get a drink or two at the bar, at the saloon. And they go to the saloon, and they get absolutely wasted. They just start, I'm sure all of you have seen the clips on TikTok, you know, Arthur and Lenny jumping upside down. Man, Arthur, why don't you got a wife? And they start jumping around. Yeah, they're drunk. Walk in on Lenny getting some dirty. Everyone's Lenny.
It's Lenny screwing Lenny, and then you
Oh
leave.
yeah, it's
There's Lenny everywhere. And it's, Lenny, where you at?
Lenny. It's all spelled
But-
wrong when you're trying to push the button.
Yeah.
And then you run from the cops, and you're like, do you even end up in jail? I don't even.
I don't think you do. You just run away, wake up
Yeah,
somewhere.
but yeah, you and Lenny have a fun little drunk night in the saloon.
But
But
Then
then it comes time to actually save Micah, because you can't put it off forever.
yeah, as much as I want to get drunk with Lenny again, you can't.
Mhm.
You gotta go back. But so you go to Strawberry where he has been held up in jail, and
Town full of some New Yorkers. Some
oh yeah,
some
it's like a
tourists.
it's a tourist town. So there's like a hotel and
Mhm.
shit. I mean, like it's meant for just people that are passing through. And there's multiple ways you can take. You can save Micah. You can go in the jail. You can get the keys inside, or there's like this big wench thing on the outside. And either way, you talk to Micah before saving, and he's like, "You gotta help me out of here." And Arthur's like, "I have been hating your guts these past few months. You've been running with us, and I finally have a chance to watch you swing." He's like, "Please don't, please don't." He's like, "If Mr. Vanderlyn wasn't biting my ass, or yeah, whatever." So then you pull this wench, like the right way to do it, I think.
Mhm. That's the way I
You-
did it both times.
Yeah, you hook it up to the gate, and you just fucking pull that whole wall
It's
off.
not just the gate, yeah, the whole wall comes off.
Yeah,
But there's other
literally-
ways to do it. You can blow up the wall with dynamite, and you can go in the
That's
establishment.
what I did my first run. I didn't know the wench was a fucking thing. I just blew it
Oh
up.
yeah, but you can go in there and like strike a deal with the guys, act like a bounty hunter or something. I don't. I
Yeah,
don't
there's like a stealth way to do it. But either way, you alert the whole town. So
Uh-huh.
Micah steps out the jail cell. He grabs a gun and just
Yeah, being a
blasts the dude
jackass.
behind him, and then which was an O'Driscoll, so it was honestly justified. But
Yeah.
then he starts slaughtering the whole town. Cops shooting at us, and
Whole town of Strawberry.
they could have gone out there, but Micah has only love, and it's his fucking guns. Which I mean, it's an asshole move, but I think it's pretty badass just for some guns. Like he's got his priorities straight, whatever. He slaughters pretty much the whole town, not really any civilians. The whole sheriff's office, all the lawmen, just for some guns. He kicks this door open. He kills some guy in his. You don't see it. It's like behind.
They're in a house. They have his guns.
Then they dip, and then it's Sean, one of the fucking
Oh
greatest.
yeah.
characters. I've said this
Oh,
about every
yeah.
character, but Sean is.
love
I
Sean.
remember telling Connor before he even got to this, like, dude, you're gonna fucking love Sean,
And
he
I
did.
love Sean.
He is an awesome character.
But you go up. It's right next to Blackwater. First time I went over there, I got smoked by some Pinkertons because it's that close to Blackwater.
Yeah.
But you're on this little cliffside, and you're with Javier, Charles, and a little man named Trelawney, and he's like a New Yorker businessman, double life. He's pretty cool. But
He's dope.
you guys are scouting around, and you're saving a Sean, and he's in like a, is it bounty hunters or Pinkertons? Bounty
Pretty
hunters?
sure he got caught by the Pinkertons in the heist and handed over to some
Yeah.
guys. They're on some boat.
So they have him on like a boat, and you got to go save him. He's like an Irish man. He's redheaded,
Very Irish.
super
Very
Irish. He's
Got a little
awesome. So you
left
save
arm
him,
bullet
and he
hat.
comes back to camp. And that's the first time your camp has a big party event, and you can't do anything because they're all partying because Sean's back.
Well, why
And
would
oh, it's awesome.
why would
So
why
you
would
party
you
around.
party with Sean?
Party around with Sean.
And then if you're walking around late, there's like a little event. You can walk by. I'm pretty sure it's John's tent. And he's partying, he's having a good time, Sean, and he's introducing. I'm pretty sure it's Karen to McGuire Jr. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny. But what is it? Is it Mary's thing? It's not. Like
Yeah,
a
so
main
Arthur
thing?
goes. It's like a multiple mission thing, but Arthur goes up to his old fling Mary, and it didn't work out because her parents didn't like a cowboy in their house. And Mary's like, "Oh, Arthur, I still love you. Will you save my brother Jamie?
Yeah, brother.
My brother Jamie. He's in some cult thing, and you go up and save Jamie, and he almost kills
And
himself. And
Chelonians are
you
like a
save
turtle
him.
king. It's
Yeah,
really
turtle
freaky.
Chelonians.
Some weird shit.
Save Jamie, and then after that, you go with Hosea and you go to this little house thing to scam some people. So he's out distracting the front, and you sneak in the back and steal their gold and stuff. And you got to
Pretty
make
much
sure you
is
close all the drawers and all the doors so they don't notice. And then you get in there a couple nickels richer because of Hosea is a scammer, and like that's what he's always done.
Oh yeah.
And then you steal an oil wagon for some other
Oh yeah.
some other thing, you know.
Pouring forth oil. Can I do this one? This is literally my favorite mission
Yeah.
in the entire fucking game.
Mhm.
So, I love John Marston. He's probably my favorite character. I love Arthur, but John definitely is one of my favorite characters. And this is one of the
Mhm.
first bright ideas that he ever has. So it's like, what if we rob another train? But Arthur's like, all right, it's a pain in the ass to stop. He's like, what if we put an oil wagon on the tracks, force it to stop, or else they blow up? That's a good
Mhm.
idea you ever had, or having half your brains. So you go and like Connor said, you take the oil, you steal the oil wagon, and then you do one other thing. I'm pretty sure there's like 4 parts to this, so it's a whole thing.
There's a few tiny little setup things.
Yeah, it's like a GTA heist pretty much.
Mhm.
But then you finally you go to the hideaway where the wagon is with Sean. So like you're bringing Sean to one of the first
I love
heists
Sean.
that he's able to partake in.
Mhm.
So he's Sean's practicing his quick draw. Arthur shows him up.
Oi, Arthur, I bet you can't shoot better than me, Arthur.
Oh, yeah, Arthur.
Ah, Sean, you shut up.
And then just totally whips out the big iron, shoots it. It's so effortless.
Ah, you fucking cheater, Arthur.
Anyway, well, it's nighttime. Arthur, you guys
So
have the
badass.
it's
Constant aura
it's
farming.
so fucking cool. The wagon's on the tracks, and Sean and John, what a thing to say. They're in the trees on this.
And they're like, hey, Arthur, how are we going to make sure it stops? And he's like,
Oh, I'll make
handle
sure.
it."
I'll make sure. So he gets on top of the oil wagon and puts his bandana on. The train's
Oh, God.
slowing down. He racks the repeater and sits there, just straight aura.
He's just standing there on the
Standing
oil
there.
wagon holding a repeater.
So badass. And then Sean and John run up. Is Charles here? I'm pretty sure Charles is here. pretty sure.
Probably, I don't know.
So they all run up, stop. They get the driver out, and then like go everyone. And it's a passenger train, so you're robbing everybody. And
Mhm.
then John's like, "Oh, I'll hand you over to my friend here." And you, as Arthur, you come up and you pistol whipping the fuck out of them. You get all the money, and then a bunch of lawmen pull up super quick for a train robbery. There's no 911.
It's a little
pulled up.
peculiar.
They're like maybe thinking it was a little bit of setup after the first train heist or whatever. And then that's pouring forth oil, which is one of the hardest games.
So dope.
So good.
And then you go back to camp, a little bit of change of pace. And John Marston, Abigail, Roberts, child, Jack Marsh, and he's like, Arthur, why won't you take me fishing, Arthur? Or maybe Abigail tells you to go fishing, but you go fishing with little Jack.
John's
And
a
he does
deadbeat, by the
not.
way, pretty much at this time. So
Oh yeah, John is a
taking him under.
yeah. He's a black father, as they say. But anyways, you go fishing with Jack. He doesn't really care. Arthur gets a little bit too into the fishing. Like he forgets about Jack. Jack's just sitting in the sand making like a necklace for his mom or something. And then some Pinkertons pull up, and they pull up, and a certain Milton pulls up, and he's like, Arthur Morgan, have you seen Dutch Vanderlyn around here? And Arthur's like, no, I haven't seen Dutch in a long time, Mr. Milton. He's like, funny, because the train was just robbed last night. He's like, that's a little old style, don't you think?
Nowadays.
Milton's like,
Apparently
apparently not. And they go back and forth. And Milton is essentially telling Arthur that if he turns in Dutch, Arthur can escape with his life, which obviously is some bullshit. And they're not just going to let a cowboy go, and they just want to get to Dutch. Which,
$5,000.
Dutch is approximately 500 feet away from them up on a cliff.
Yeah.
Like,
it is insane.
I don't know how they didn't see Dutch walking out of there. Like, they probably know where Dutch is, and they just want to get some info. But
I wouldn't be
later in the story, it's revealed that obviously Arthur wasn't the only one that they talked to.
Yeah. Well, we'll get
But
to
that's
that.
irrelevant, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to
But
that.
basically, Arthur goes back to camp, and he's like, Dutch, we're in some deep shit right now. They're looking for your ass. We got to get out of here. And Dutch is like, no, they got no idea. Our boy, don't even worry about it. We are A-okay. They just want to spook us into
Well,
doing something stupid.
which happens. They ended up doing some. They were herding some sheep. Him and John are
Mhm.
herding some sheep just for Valentine. It's a farmhand town, right? Then you're having a drink with old Vanderlyn. Tries who pulled fucking Cornwall. Mr. Vanderlyn, you robbed me.
About 20
Well,
guns out there
outside.
with big fat
Yeah.
Cornwall.
And it's insane because there's fucking 30 people out there. Obviously less,
Mhm.
but like a bunch of people out there, guns armed and
Do they take
aimed.
someone hostage at that point, or is
They
that only
take.
the
I'm
later?
pretty sure they take John and Strauss because I'm pretty sure Strauss gets shot.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he gets shot. You pull out the. This is you. You have your Deadeye event, whatever. Whip out the
Uh-huh.
gun. You shoot the Pinkertons or hired guns or whatever the fuck they are, and
Mhm.
then Strauss gets shot in the leg. I'm pretty sure, and then you got to throw him on the back of some wagon. You're like pushing this
Yeah, that's
wagon
right.
like it's Vorkuta from Black Ops 1. You're like standing behind it, and then you're shooting all on the.
Mhm.
Then you got to get the fuck out of there. You go back to town or camp. You get out of there.
And now everyone's realizing that now they got Pinkertons and Cornwall and O'Driscoll's to worry about. So they're all kind of starting to agree
Yeah.
that they probably got to get out of there soon, but they haven't fully decided.
Yeah.
But besides that, Micah comes in with some
we forgot to
information.
mention that Micah never came back to camp. He ran off until he could bring like a gift.
Oh
for-
yeah, that's right.
He was a bad boy. He got caught. And you go do some side quests with him. Rob someone was a stagecoach, right? Anyway, you get ambushed. The shit flips. You like go flying, and then 500 O'Driscolls come out wearing like fucking
Yeah.
axe on their head, like fucking Jason.
Honestly, it's pretty badass how the OG do that.
It's pretty
like
cool. This is like
bandanas are cool, but whole potato sacks with eye holes in it, like they're kind of badass.
Like
They're definitely intimidating.
Yeah, way more intimidating. And I'm pretty sure you can buy like an axe.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But
this
the
is
whole
the-
stagecoach anyway, it was kind of a bust anyway, and there's like not that much money in it anyway.
Yeah.
So Micah just gave you some BS information and just got O'Driscoll's on your ass for no reason. You know,
Pretty
as
much.
Micah does.
Yeah,
Jackass.
he's going cool. The mission is cool though. Like honestly,
Mhm.
like if Arthur and Micah got along, they would have
Yeah,
been
it is cool.
awesome.
No,
awesome.
100%. 100%.
They got great chemistry while they hate each other. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine what it looks like.
And then is it after that one where Milton and them come to camp and they're making themselves known?
That was
and-
chapter 3 in person. That's like the
I
end of
don't
chapter.
think it was, because the last mission of chapter 2 is when you go to Clemens Point.
I'm pretty sure you just sent out to find somewhere, and then you find like I don't know if he was. You find some dude.
Okay, well, we'll just
hiding
gloss
away.
over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Charles are sent off by Dutch, and he's like, hey, I got a tip off of some place in this creek place. You go check it out. We might move there. And they go there. The place kind of, it looks real stinky, not very
Yeah,
good.
it's
And
out
there's
in
some
the open.
wagons there. Yeah, it's out in the open. There's, I don't know why Dutch even considered it. But there's
Just
some
might.
wagons and stuff there, and it's like the COD World War II Jewish girls, you know. Like
Yeah.
there's some people hiding under the wagons,
But
and Arthur and Charles are like, "Oh shit, maybe we can't be here." But they
then
go
they
back
try.
to a little place. Did they pass by Clemens Point before that?
I don't think so. I think they go to Clemens Point because that's where the O'Driscolls has their husband, and you're like
Oh, that's
high on
right.
their
Yeah.
husband.
So
Then
are they German? Are the
I'm
people
pretty sure they're
German?
German. Yeah,
German.
pretty
So they're
sure.
like, "Mi Faja is by Clement Point. You just have to shave them."
And he's like,
So you know.
I don't speak German neither, or some shit. And then you go and save or their husband, and then it's like, he kind
Yeah.
of has like a little happy moment where he thinks of like Mary,
Mhm.
his family
And then
right
Arthur and Charles are there where the O'Driscolls were, and they're like, this is an awfully fine piece of land. Why don't we just call everyone here? And then the whole gang comes to there, and it's known as Clemens Point, and that is the end of chapter 2.
Bam,
And
chapter 3, Clemens Point, the whole fucking ordeal.
yep, but
Then
that's here. Nope, shut up.
no,
That's
I
the
was
end
about
of.
to say it's just
Okay,
the best
okay,
chapter that it comes to. I wasn't gonna
okay.
continue,
Yeah.
but
So let's get some final thoughts out. Chapter
I
2.
I think chapter 2
I
is one of
mean, I
the best.
think chapter 3 is fun and happy still, but chapter 2 is definitely it's a lot of fun, happy
Yeah,
cowboy fun, it's like
yeah, it really
you're getting the
sets
best
the
of the
mood.
cowboy life, at least towards the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah, and
All the characters are funny. I mean, not Dutch. John isn't the best person, but the chemistry is all good. There's not a lot of tension between the gang. There's tension towards the gang from other places, but the gang's strong. It's as big as ever because you slowly gain the people, and
yeah.
there's a lot of little fun little things to do. And
It's
obviously, chapter 1, it's just straightforward kind of tutorial stuff like that. Chapter 2, it's open world, and I think that's where a lot of people stop the game because they play chapter 1 and it's straightforward and they're playing, and then chapter
yeah,
2 gets thrown at them and they're like, "Whoa, this is a big open world. What do I even
yeah.
do?" And they get overwhelmed. So I think that's why a lot of people are like, "Oh, after the snow part."
Chapter 1 and 2 definitely the happier times of
Mhm.
the story. I love Lenny. I love Uncle.
Yeah, it's a whole
Uh,
lot of fun.
pretty much.
Potentially, I don't agree with this, but some would definitely argue that these are the two best chapters in the game. Like
Yeah,
two best paired, like two best back to
yeah.
back.
No, they definitely. And this game is so fucking beautiful. Like everything is perfect about it. Like
It
there's a
is.
lot of
Especially
uncut
for is it
detail.
2018? 20
Yeah,
is
it
it
was
2018?
2018. It's 2018.
So that's
So
8 years old now.
yeah,
And it
it's
stands
fucking
up.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And it's crazy because it was being made in the same time GTA 5 was being made. So
Mhm.
like they took all the player models and all that shit and they like threw it straight in here and then upgraded it. Like
Yeah.
it's a really, really big change, but it's such a beautiful game. And I'm gonna say every chapter is the best just because I seriously don't have a favorite chapter. They're all so fucking amazing. And they just
Yeah, I
work
agree.
so
There's
well. All
some
the
controversy in some, but yeah, I
yeah.
agree with that.
I mean, even like the later chapters where it kind of
Mhm.
little downhill from like where we're at, it's still so fucking beautiful. Such a beautiful game.
I will
Chapter
say
3,
though, if I'm gonna give any cons on this chapter,
yeah,
which there's not many, I think, which also goes along with people quitting the game, I
yeah,
think that chapter 2 and maybe even 3, they're a little bit harder to get invested in, or at least they were for me. Because
yeah.
it's fun and stuff, but it's not like you're never in chapter 2, at least most of it.
You don't
You're
have that.
never really like, oh, what's gonna happen next? I need to stay on so I can
Yeah,
see what happens next.
it's kind of
It's
just
more
like
like you
kind of
hop on and it's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna go have some fun.
I'm gonna go drink with Lenny and have a good
But I
time.
think that's what some of the later chapters do better because it's a lot of like, oh, what's gonna be next?
Yeah.
I cannot get off tonight. I gotta know what happens.
Yeah. And also, there's no deaths besides fucking Davy, and he gets a second and a half of
Yeah.
screen time. So like, no one's really like gotten killed or any of
Yeah.
that
Right.
yet. Like nothing's happened where it's like, shit, what the fuck?
Mhm.
But chapter 3 has some sad but very awesome. I think like chapter 3 and on has the pouring forth oil, but that's like the
Mhm.
only like the other nothing is compared. Like that is nothing. Arthur standing on an oil wagon or a fire,
Yeah.
all that shit. So, but chapter 3, we'll get into that later. But probably
Okay,
my
but before, let's discuss what's your favorite mission of the chapter?
second one or the first or both, I assume. First one,
Yeah, both.
um, honestly, I'm probably gonna say saving John. I mean, like the Cornwall mission where you like introduce that pretty cool. But I have a I obviously fucking love the first one, and
Mhm.
John's one of my favorite characters. So like seeing his like um I don't know what the word is, but like seeing him come into frame with pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second one that I've already said it 5 times. Pouring forth oil, and then also the one with Lenny. That one's super cool.
Yeah.
I like it just because you see Micah's real badass. You know, I
Mhm.
mean, we're looking into like the realism. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up to shoot up a whole town, but like
Yeah.
some guns, like he cherishes his big iron so much. You know,
Mhm.
but also getting drunk with Lenny. You
Yeah.
know.
I think my
Um,
top two would probably be. I think honestly, the train in chapter one's my favorite because it's
mhm.
just the big moment in chapter one, and then chapter two. I don't know. Honestly, maybe the fishing mission because you really get a sense of like the
Yeah.
law and the dread of the universe.
Yeah. No,
All
for
right. What
sure.
about characters though? What's the highlight character? Not your favorite character, but what do you think the highlight
Highlight.
character of the two chapters
Um,
are?
I think like Charles is like a highlight character, hunting and all that. And
Mm,
then Sean, even though it's like the very few last missions,
yeah.
him pulling up is one of the greatest ones because the first 2 seconds of you seeing him, he's already cracking. He's
Mhm.
I love Sean. He definitely deserves. But we'll get to that. But what
Yeah,
about
I
you?
think. I mean, this sounds basic as hell, but for chapter one and two, I think the standout character is definitely Arthur because that's who's getting set up the
Yeah.
most. You really learn who Arthur is,
Yeah.
his background, his relations, which
Yeah.
makes sense for the first chapters. And I'm not
Oh,
gonna
of
say that
course.
every single time, obviously.
Yeah. I feel like I don't say enough on Arthur, but like, I mean, I have like almost 1,000. Obviously,
Yeah.
I cried many times in his
Mhm.
journey of redemption. But like, I've played so many hours of just Arthur. I have a lot of other favorite characters, just
Yeah.
seeing all their foreshadowing and all. Even some of their John, even Charles too. Like he kind
Mhm.
of, I don't know. Great game, beautiful fucking game.
Yep.
And
Before this video ends, I'm doing something a little special for these videos.
ooh,
Let me think of what to call it. Hold on. Let me think. Let me think. Hold on. Hold on. Let's just call it some red trivia.
Red Dead,
Red trivia.
Red. What about Red Dead
So,
True?
nope.
Mhm.
Red
Red
trivia.
Trivia,
Question
Red.
of the day. Why did the gang leave Coulter?
Hmm. Are we answering this, or is this more for like
This is
people to
you
do?
answering.
Oh,
This
this
is
is
for
me
you.
answering. Okay, I didn't know if we're gonna have like a like
No, this is
a
for you.
like a. They left Coulter because they were all freezing to death and dying.
But
So
what allowed them to leave Coulter finally when they did?
the train heist, getting the money. I guess. Well, I guess finding Kieran pretty much.
Wrong.
But what do you mean wrong?
Wrong.
Okay, well enlighten me.
Because it finally unthawed. They were waiting for all the snow to thaw out for them to leave.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Man, you don't. Okay, yeah, you know what, you're right.
Well,
You're right. 1,000
For
hours.
trivia. Episode over.
Nothing.
Tune in next time. I don't know when next time's gonna be. I don't know when this time's gonna be. But tune in next time for chapter 3 and 4, which those are some good chapters. I'll have you.
Goodbye, y'all.
But that's the end of the video. Goodbye, y'all. See you later.
Villain man never ran with crows in his hand and won't stop rocking till he clocked in a gazillion grand. Tilling the wasteland sands, raps on backs of treasure maps, stacks to the ceiling fan. He rests when he's ashes, ask him after 10 miles in his galoshes, smashes stashes. Chip on his shoulder with a slip-on holster, a clip, a folder, and his grip on a boulder bolster.